once you get it to a certain level,
You want them to go up?
we want to try. Well, we want to try to keep it for about 10 seconds during that sprint. Next time around, just try to improve it.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Getting good long strides with it. Come up real high, come down real low. I think I got close to about 400 or so on it. Yeah. It's fine messing with it, so take your time learning it.
Do you find doing carnivore, you have any less energy in here?
No, I feel really good. You know? Energy, such kind of a weird thing to define. It's just very general, you know?
Yeah, like
Like,
strength or...
yeah. Like, oh, I feel great. It's like, all I know is I continue to feel a little bit better.
Right.
It's very hard to describe, but I feel like my sleep is a little bit better. I feel like my excitement to do stuff every day, my motivation is a little bit better. But it could be, you know, it's definitely the diet is definitely part of it, I think. But I just think, you know, everything seems to be going pretty good too. So,
Right.
you know, it's easy to feel good.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel good when you're kicking ass,
Right.
you know? You know, some of like the best actors, you're like, holy shit, man, that was the nicest guy. Or
Right.
a producer or director that's on a really high level, you're like, how do they figure out how to do all that and be nice? But a lot of it is just, they feel good about stuff because stuff's going so damn well.
Right.
There we go, good.
How many do you want to do?
Maybe like 10 on each side or so. It ends up unfolding here in the gym. But from a technical standpoint, we're supposed to be able to recruit more motor units, more muscle fibers by working the opposing muscle group, the antagonist. When we're doing our rows, we're not activating the triceps. We're not activating the front part of the shoulder. We're not activating the pec. If anything, we might be stretching those muscles out a little bit, which is then preparing it to contract harder here. In just a couple of seconds, I'm going to be really fatigued, and no matter how strong or powerful I am, I'm going to want to do nothing more than just to stop. I already know that I want to stop, but I'm already teaching and telling my brain, look man, stopping ain't an option. You got to figure out a way to keep going. So we need about 10 to 12 reps of each one of these, and if I have to lower the weight or if I have to struggle and make weird faces and weird noises, then that's just going to be the way that it is. Here we go. Should be able to get 10 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fatigue makes cowards of us all, right? Doesn't matter how big or strong or tough you think you are. Once you're tired, once you're at the breaking point, you're gonna wanna give up. Doesn't matter how many lifts I've done in the past or what I've done recently or what diet I'm on. This weight no longer wants to move, full range of motion. I can't overcome it with my muscles. I can't overcome it with my brain. I can't overcome it with drugs. That's the limit, that's it. We tapped out. But make sure you're checking off those boxes. Got an opportunity to go all in, it's an opportunity to get better. Place the word work with opportunity, and you'll keep getting ahead. Whoo, you're up, buddy.
A little scary.
But I always like to put my hand here, kind of protects my ribs. Even when I was fat, my ribs were right there for some reason. separation of politics and Hollywood might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
But probably ain't gonna ever happen. That's interesting.
Yeah, they started airing the previews during a Democratic debate on CNN, and the Democrats really did not like it.
No, that's funny. No, that's funny. Just don't say it too much. They probably heard it. Definitely hear it. That was the weirdest thing. So I haven't.
Squeeze it, pull your chest up, squeeze it, down slow. Good, fight me, fight me, fight me, fight me, fight me. Nice. Good work. Awesome. So we just talked to you about your weight loss journey and being 550 pounds or whatever you weighed at the top. You're not really sure. And you got all the way down to 220, and then you found a habit. Kind of speculation. Hey, I got a question about acting, because I sometimes wonder, like when you shoot a scene and it's funny, or even if something just strikes you funny, maybe the scene's not that funny. How the hell do you make it through it when you start getting giggly and start getting silly? Because sometimes once you get the giggles like that, you can't stop. How do you gotta walk off set sometimes and
Yes.
regroup?
Sometimes you do have to walk off and regroup, and sometimes they will have you, they'll notice, like, if you and I are doing it and you and I are making each other laugh, they'll be like, okay, you fuck off. Now,
It's like in school, you gotta be separated,
yeah,
right?
now say it to, like, we're gonna draw an X on the camera, or with tape.
It gets
they'll
that
put an
bad
X.
sometimes, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it gets bad.
Damn, that's pretty cool. I always wanted to know that, because I was like, how do they sometimes get through this stuff? Sometimes on like Saturday Night Live, they might just kind of play through it.
Yeah.
Day number 35, and here's meal number 1. I'm trying to eat more. This morning I had a protein shake. I don't think I filmed that, so maybe it never happened. I don't know. But this is the closest I've been to fasting since I've started in February. I'm not fasting. I got some tuna right here, 60 grams of protein. I'm about to leave. I'm about to go home, but I don't want that like burning sensation of like being super hungry, on my way home. And so I'm just eating. I'm trying to move away from fasting just for a little bit, just to give myself a little bit of a break from it. But today was awesome, getting an opportunity to interview Eathan Suplee for YouTube and for 2 podcasts. Had a great workout with him. Awesome dude. He's a beast. He's got 4 kids. He's a married guy. He is just a really, really hardworking guy. And he used to weigh, like, he didn't even know what he weighed. He probably weighed around 550 pounds at one point. And he worked his way all the way down to 220. And at 220, he was still like ashamed of his body. He didn't like the way that he looked then, even though he accomplished so much and losing all that weight. But he went from one eating disorder to another. Being obesity is an eating disorder, but so is trying to get too skinny and too thin. That's also a form of eating disorder, in my opinion. What he did as he was dropping weight is he would only, this is pretty crazy, he would only eat while he was on his bike. He started biking a lot, started cycling a lot, and he started going like, I think he said 8 hours a day or something crazy like that. And the only time that he would eat is like when he was on his bike, because he wanted to make sure he's burning up these calories. That happens to a lot of people when they're in search of, trying to be great or trying to be better or trying to do something that they maybe haven't defined yet. Even when people are trying to become more wealthy, sometimes they get lost in it and they lose everything. They lose their family, they lose their friends, they lose, and then they have so much, quote unquote, and then but they still end up with very, very little, So it's just, as you're going towards these goals and as you're thinking about doing these things, you want to try to be as reasonable with them as you possibly can. And even for myself, that's kind of the reason why I moved out of fasting, is because, while that does work, that's a great strategy. It's also a great strategy every once in a while to give yourself a break from it. And what Eathan presented today I think it's one of the best podcasts that we've ever done. It was really, really cool. And the amount of information that he was forced to learn is on a different level. I don't really care what anybody says, but like going to school and trying to learn what he knows, you would never get that from an education that you would get in school. You would never know the things that he knows. I would listen to Eathan a million times over than listen to a Lane Norton. Lane Norton has great information, but in terms of obesity, who knows about being obese? Who knows better about obesity than someone who's been obese? He was the fat kid, he said, growing up. And I don't know that perspective. I was never the fat kid, although I was fat as a kid. I wasn't the only fat guy in town. And so it's a little bit different perspective when you come from where Eathan came from. Unbelievable day. Can't wait to get home, see my kids, and I think we're gonna go out to eat tonight. That should be pretty cool. And that's it. Getting a lot of work done today, and then I come in here and I see on my desk, guys, we're gonna attack hard with this Lift Through It stuff. Lift Through It campaign coming soon. It's not even really a campaign as much as it is a long-term mantra of the company. You can see this is my wife's desk. She's piled up with a lot of work, but to me this looks sick. This is going to be a box that we're putting together. I'm still working out details on that, but you know, it makes me insanely proud of all the hard work that goes in from all the people that work here at Slingshot. We have about 20 employees, and people are just, they're working their asses off. Think about the amount of content that we put out. It's unparalleled. No one else is putting out this amount of content. There's not another person in the fitness industry that has more videos than Mark Smelly Bell. If you think about the amount of content that comes out from us each and every single day, the multiple platforms that we have, even just on something like Instagram, and then we have Mark Bell's Power Projects. We have markbell.com now. We have Mark Bell's Slingshot. We have a Mark Bell Super Training YouTube page. We have this YouTube page, which is Mark Smelly Bell. It's just, we have so many different things coming out. I am responsible. I'm on the hook every single day to post this vlog that you're watching right now. I'm filming that and editing that myself. And we ain't slowing down. We ain't going anywhere. We're gonna keep on keeping on. We're gonna keep on trucking. We're producing the best content, in my opinion, and we're producing the most amount of content. And it's gonna take a long time for anybody else to be able to catch up with us. But when you think about buying knee sleeves, and you think about protecting yourself in the gym, and you think about wrist wraps, and you think about knee wraps or knee sleeves or any of these things, you should always be thinking about us, because we're the ones that are putting out information to help you guys, to assist you guys with your weight loss, your weight gain, your strength concerns, any concerns you may have in terms of like supplementation or anything like that. We're the ones putting out the information, and it's for you, and it's not to put you guys on the hook to have to purchase anything from me. You certainly don't have to, but we make cool shit. We make it look good, and it works really well. So, you know what I mean? Next time you guys are thinking about purchasing something, why in God's name would you ever buy something from SBD? Or why in God's name would you buy something from any of these other companies? They don't do shit for you. They might throw some money at a powerlifting meet, or they might throw some money at a strongman competition, but who cares about that shit? They're not really truly moving the needle. They're not really truly invested in making the world a better place to lift. This Lift Through It stuff that we're going to be doing coming up, I've realized the commonality amongst all lifters and amongst all people that go in the gym and lift weights is this principle of lift through it. We're all in there for a reason. We're all fucked up in one way or another in our head. We all have had eating disorders, or we have had depression, or we've had anxiety, or we've had, we've had a learning disability when we're a kid, like me, or dealing with my brother's death. These kinds of things. These things are really, really heavy. These things are heavier than any weight you'll ever move in the gym. But to learn how to fight through the resistance in the gym is a step forward and a step in the right direction to learn how to lean into the resistance of life. And when you lean into the resistance of life, you can do more. And when you can do more, you can be more, because the more that you can do, the more that you can handle. So that's why we're on a relentless pursuit to make the world a better place to lift. I would love to see everybody be able to handle more. I'd love to see everyone be able to do more, be more. It's about what you can be. It's about the opportunity that's there. It's not about the hard work necessarily. because you might think that work's too hard, but don't think about it as work. Think about it more as another opportunity to advance yourself. Gonna head home, gonna go eat with the family. Excited to go to Bud's, I think we're going to tonight. Out here in Dixon, California at Bud's. Not sure if you can see the sign on there or what. Anyway, time to close this thing out. Day number 35, 35 days of going carnivore. For those of you that are doing it with me, congratulations. For those of you that just joined in, welcome. And for those of you that are planning on getting on it, I highly recommend that you get on it. I highly recommend that you join in. I highly recommend you do this diet. What is the carnivore diet? The carnivore diet is any meat that you want to eat is fair game, no pun intended. Any meat that you want to eat is fair game. And other things you can have on the diet are bone broth, butter, eggs, and that's kind of it. But you have a wide variety of meats that you can eat. You can have bacon, you can have sausage, you can have duck, you can have lamb, you can have any forms of pork, you can have many, many different kinds of steak, I think, and hamburger meat, and you can occasionally run through an In-N-Out burger and get what's called the Flying Dutchman. You know, you have a lot of opportunities to eat a lot of different things. You can buy really lean meat, you can buy fattier meats. I mean, you can really switch it up quite a bit and end up with a lot of combinations. You can have a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger. Every time you order breakfast, you can get extra eggs and extra bacon, and you know, and let the diet do its job. Don't try to suffer. Don't try to fast. Don't try to kill yourself with anything weird until you get to be more of a veteran, until you get to be more of a professional dieter. Once you have, you know, got your skill level up, and once you've gotten more used to the diet, then that's when you can implement things like intermittent fasting. But at first, you know, get your footing, do this diet for 2 weeks, let the meat heal you, let the meat do what it's supposed to do. Meat will heal you regardless of what people are trying to tell you. I know they're trying to tell you the exact opposite of that. They're trying to tell you that meat's going to kill you, but trust me when I tell you that meat heals, and it'll make a big difference in what you're doing. Just give it, you know, honestly give it a good 2 weeks, 14 days of only eating meat, eggs, bone broth, butter, and try to stick that out the best you possibly can. Dairy, you know, you could have a little cheese here and there, but I wouldn't have milk or anything like that in the beginning. Give it a shot, see how it works for you. Don't just take my word for it. Strength is never a weakness, weakness is never a strength. That's day number 35. Catch y'all later.
We are up to 12,000 subscribers.
Oh my God. Hey, guys, thank you so much. This is my man Carlos, working his face off all the time. This guy is dedicated, man. This guy was riding his bike here. Now it's gotten to be a little too cold for him to ride his bike here. Him and his wife, they got one car, but he's making it work whatever way he can. This is just how dedicated he is to this game. And I want you guys just to know and understand, like, we're both I'm putting these damn videos out. I think Carlos is freaking out because he's like, how is Mark able to do that? And Carlos is putting out all these videos. We are just not going to stop. We're just getting started. You're going to see more. Like, there's another media guy. You can't get by us. Look, he's got a camera. You can't get around it. We're going to be media you until your face falls off. That's what we're going to be doing over here. All right, I'm going to head home, go eat some food, and catch you guys later. Thank you, guys. Surf and turf, day number 35. Got some lobster, got some steak. They gave me some veggies, don't worry, I won't eat it. And they gave me shrimp. I already ate one of them, but they only gave me 3 to start with. Time to eat. Out here in Dixon, California at Bud's. Not sure if you can see the sign on there or what. Anyway, time to close this thing out. Day number 35, 35 days of going carnivore. For those of you that are doing it with me, congratulations. For those of you that just joined in, welcome. And for those of you that are planning on getting on it, I highly recommend that you get on it. I highly recommend that you join in. I highly recommend you do this diet. What is the carnivore diet? The carnivore diet is any meat that you want to eat is fair game, no pun intended. Any meat that you want to eat is fair game, and Other things you can have on the diet are bone broth, butter, eggs, and that's kind of it. But you have a wide variety of meats that you can eat. You can have bacon, you can have sausage, you can have duck, you can have lamb, you can have any forms of pork, you can have many, many different kinds of steak, I think, and hamburger meat, and you can occasionally run through an In-N-Out burger and get what's called a Flying Dutchman. You know, you have a lot of opportunities to eat a lot of different things. You can buy really lean meat, you can buy fattier meats. I mean, you can really switch it up quite a bit and end up with a lot of combinations. You can have a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger. Every time you order breakfast, you can get extra eggs and extra bacon, and you know, and let the diet do its job. Don't try to suffer. Don't try to fast. Don't try to kill yourself with anything weird until you get to be more of a veteran, until you get to be more of a professional dieter. Once you have, you know, got your skill level up, and once you've gotten more used to the diet, then that's when you can implement things like intermittent fasting. But at first, you know, get your footing, do this diet for 2 weeks, let the meat heal you, let the meat do what it's supposed to do. Meat will heal you, regardless of what people are trying to tell you. I know they're trying to tell you the exact opposite of that. They're trying to tell you that meat's going to kill you. But trust me when I tell you that meat heals, and it'll make a big difference in what you're doing. Just give it, you know, honestly, give it a good 2 weeks, 14 days of only eating meat, eggs, bone broth, butter, and try to stick that out the best you possibly can. Dairy, you know, you could have a little cheese here and there, but I wouldn't have milk or anything like that in the beginning. Give it a shot, see how it works for you. Don't just take my word for it. Strength is never a weakness, weakness is never a strength. That's day number 35. Catch y'all later. Alright, so I didn't think I had enough food at Bud's. I'm still hungry, so I'm frying some hot dogs and some butter, and I got some eggs I'm going to chuck in here. Scrambled eggs. Making a little hot dog egg scramble. Never made it before, but trying something new, trying something different. I think it's going to be amazing.